New Year's Day. I woke before the sun. Coming back into my body, I took stock. No aching head bone. My eyeballs weren't hot embers. No vice gripping the back of my neck or squeezing my temples. Flat on my back, I stretched my legs, pointed my toes, and gave thanks. My year of self-acceptance and diminished expectations was off to a good start. That evening, I babysat the grandkids. Elliot and Eva sat at the dining room table while I retrieved tubs of Play-Doh and assorted accessories from the hutch. Elliot wanted me to make cars like the ones from the Disney movie. I wasn't very good at it, but he always seemed satisfied with the results. It was a familiar ritual, one that Bob and I had entertained Carol Ann with and the others before her. The dining room is the one room in the house that's decorated with family photographs. Our 5 children through the years. Awkward group photos of those first Christmases together when we struggled to blend. Weddings and graduations. My sisters. Our parents. 3 of 4 deceased. Only my mother is still with us, though she scarcely knows it. The grandchildren get the most real estate. That's us, Eva said, pointing at the matching photos of the 2 of them on ponies wearing cowboy hats. And Mommy and Daddy, Elliot said, pointing at one of the photos from their wedding. I'm not there, right? He said. You weren't born yet, I said. And not me, Eva said. Oh, and not you. I set the photograph on the table. It's one I love because it was a wonderful day, but also because of the way I look, standing between my son and Bob, beaming at the camera. So thin, full of life. I look so happy and in the moment. Elliot tapped my image. Who's that lady, Grandma? He asked. That's me. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. You're not being for real, right? Elliot hopped down from the chair. He dashed to the hutch and pointed up at a photo from my wedding to Bob. There you are, he said, pointing at my mother, dumpling-shaped and white-haired in her frowsy mother-of-the-bride dress. That's Grandma June. Here I am, I said, pointing at myself, standing beside Bob. That's Aunt Julie, he said, laughing at my joke. My son, Elliot's father, got married a little over 10 years ago. I was in my early 50s. Carol Ann was a flower girl. Only 10 years. Back when strangers still sometimes mistook me for my younger sister. Yet my grandson didn't know me. He couldn't imagine that version of me. I remember being disappointed with how I looked on my son's wedding day. I'd struggled to lose weight before the big day and still considered myself 20 pounds too heavy. I was self-conscious of my upper arms in this sleeveless dress, and I was envious of the bride's mother, petite and elegant in a traditional Vietnamese tunic and fitted pants. If only I could have appreciated how lovely I was. While they dug through the Play-Doh, I studied the old photograph. The gray hair sprouting at my temples wasn't the only reason Elliot didn't recognize me. In 10 years, I'd aged over 20. After Play-Doh, we moved into the living room. Elliot got the Legos down from the shelf and dumped them out onto the floor. Help me build a garage for my cars, Grandma, he said. I hesitated, gauging the distance to the ground and the proximity of chairs and walls, props I'd need to lower myself down and to get back up again. Elliot gathered several throw pillows from the couch and made me a cushy throne. There you go, Grandma. He knew the drill. When my son returned to fetch the kids, I grasped the arm of the chair and hoisted myself up standing. You okay down there, Mom? My son said. Need a hand? I'm just fine, I said, glaring at him. I had become my mother, struggling with the simplest task. I used to consider people who were the age I am now old. Now that I was over 60, I didn't feel old, not on the inside. It wasn't age that made it hard to get up and down, that sapped my energy, that left me wheezing after climbing a flight of stairs. I'd done that to myself, one mini candy bar at a time. If I felt this way in my 60s, what condition would I be in 10 years from now? My 2 grandchildren would still be in their teens. Perhaps they would have cousins. Would I even be around to be a part of their lives? What was more important than that? What else was any of this about? On New Year's Eve, I'd been ready to throw in the towel. The headaches and bouts of depression, my depleted marriage, avoiding friends and family because I was ashamed of how I looked, helping other people with their writing instead of focusing on my own. None of that had been enough to trigger the desire for change. Yet out of the mouths of babes. Elliot had only said what he saw, what I hadn't wanted to face. I wanted to be a grandma he could count on, a grandma he could learn from and have fun with. Hell, I wanted to be able to sit on the ground without it being a major production. I needed to figure this out. I needed a plan like every other year. To get healthy, no. But this time I meant it. I was too old to keep backsliding, to put things off another year. It only got harder. 2017 would be the year to give it my all and not give up. To get healthy and make peace with my body and my marriage. To take pride in my accomplishments and to live life as if it mattered. As if I mattered. As if this might be my only chance. If not now, when? The new year brings the annual barrage for the latest weight loss miracle. I'm not immune to their allure, especially those that make the most preposterous claims, if the price is low enough that I won't have to explain the charge on the credit card bill. With each passing year, it's harder to find one I haven't already tried and failed at. I do realize that the only real secret to weight loss is to eat fewer calories than you burn, a seemingly straightforward equation, except that it isn't. Not for me. And apparently not for millions of others who hope this year's magic pill or program will be the one. 2017's enticing diet miracle came via a quarter-page ad in Sacramento. It ran every day for weeks, beginning back in December, promising at least a 15 to 35-pound weight loss in 30 days or less, or your money back. And, of course, no rigorous dietary restrictions or exercise required. Maximum results for minimal effort. Perfect. To learn the details, including the cost, you had to attend a consultation with a licensed physician at one of their many area locations. I haven't stepped on a scale in months. Why invite misery? But I imagine I have 30 to 40 pounds to lose. I do the math. Assuming the minimum guaranteed weight loss of 15 pounds per month, I'll reach my goal in a little over 2 months. If I stick with it for 3 months, by spring, I'll be back in dresses and skirts, pants with zippers instead of elastic. By summer, I'll be wearing a bikini. It's all simple math. I find the Miracle Weight Loss Center in an unassuming strip mall off Laguna Boulevard. There's no permanent sign out front, just a flimsy banner that flaps in the wind. Is this place new? I asked the receptionist. Oh, no, we've been here at this location for 7 years. I just wondered because of the sign. Yeah, I don't know why they haven't gotten around to that. I do too. I remember the Fen clinics that popped up in strip malls in the mid-90s. I got skinny on those pills before they were banned by the FDA. The chubby-cheeked blonde receptionist hands me a pen and clipboard with a questionnaire attached. She motions me to take a seat. A dozen folding chairs face a podium and screen as if they expect a crowd, though I'm the only customer that morning. There are several chiropractic beds beside the podium. I wonder how spinal alignment factors into the program. Stretching, perhaps. I wouldn't mind growing a few inches taller. If nothing else, it would help spread the weight around. After I filled out the questionnaire, I'm directed to a private office, one of several along a drab corridor. The doctor behind an institutional metal desk is a plump brunette in her early 30s, casually dressed in slacks and t-shirt and with a bouncy ponytail. At the Fen clinic, the doctor at least wore a white lab coat over her clothes. After she'd completed the cursory physical exam and we'd discussed my goals, she whispered, "You really don't need to lose that much weight. Are you sure you want to do this?" I should have seen the FDA action coming. I've been to a lot of diet centers. So many of the staff are hippie. They must offer an employee discount. But it does undermine my confidence, like taking an aerobics class with an instructor in worse shape than I am. "This is an amazing program," the young ponytail doctor says. "I lost close to 100 pounds on it." I blink, thinking she must have been very overweight indeed. Then I had another child, and I let the weight creep back in. You know how it is. Having gained upwards of 50 pounds with each of my 3 pregnancies, I do know. Life gets busy. Priorities shift. My daughter is older now. I've already lost 35 pounds in just 6 weeks. "Well, that's fantastic," I say, perking up. She's pretty, in a non-threatening way. I decide I like her. I can picture the two of us on the journey together, more peers than doctor and patient. At a rate of 35 pounds in 6 weeks, I'll be done in a blink. "So, how does this diet work?" I said. "Oh, it's not a diet. It's a lifestyle change." Right. "We'll get to that," she says. "But first, let's have a look at your numbers." I shuck my shoes and coat and stand on the electronic scale while she taps the computer keys. "I'll just retrieve the printout," she says. "Then we'll go over your information and see where we stand." I already know where I stand. I just want their magic pills or potions so I can get on with losing my belly in 6 weeks without diet or strenuous exercise. According to the fancy scale, I'm obese. 15 pounds since the last time I weighed myself. Disappointing, but no big surprise. My body is 50% fat. Not good, but still, no huge surprise. The next statistic that makes me choke: metabolic age, 84. Over 20 years past my chronological age. "Scary, right?" she says. "But that's just tied to your weight and percentage of fat. That number will drop dramatically as soon as the pounds begin melting away. I promise." By 84, Mom's mind had begun converting to Swiss cheese. I'm 62, still wondering what I want to be when I grow up. 84 is not acceptable. I need those 22 years back. But the good news is you have a surprisingly high number for muscle, the lady doc says. "Once you start, the weight will come off quickly. I'm betting you'll lose more than 15 pounds in 30 days. At least 25. You'll be down to 165 by March 1st. How does that sound?" It sounds perfect. She's my new best friend. "So," I say, "what's the diet? How does it work?" "Well, as I said, it's not a diet." I nod, impatient to get on with it. She flips through a thick binder, shows me charts and graphs and lists of allowed foods. Lean proteins, chicken, fish, non-nut dairy, low carbohydrate vegetables, proprietary smoothies based on my unique metabolic and hormonal factors. A fat-burning cocktail that will recalibrate my metabolism and reignite my body's natural furnace. There isn't any fat burning going on in my furnace. Recalibration sounds like just a ticket. Now, I don't believe in miracles. There's no Santa Claus, and you don't lose weight without hard work and discipline. And even then, there's no guarantee. Ingrained habits must be broken. Behaviors rooted in conditioned responses to emotional pain, insecurity, and loneliness must be redirected. What she describes isn't magic either, despite the intriguing, customized smoothie concoctions. I've done this diet before. This sounds like ketosis, I say. You've heard of it? She asked, visibly tensing. I've done it. It works, but it's really hard. Not the way we do it, she says, loosening her smile. The daily smoothie is the key. It resets your metabolism, which is what's been preventing you from losing the weight. I thought it was couch sitting and binging on crap, like an entire sack of Halloween candy. But I prefer her explanation. She explains that for one flat fee, the center will support me 24/7 for the rest of my life, as in forever. Weekly weigh-ins, the patented drink for the duration of my active period, extensions beyond the first 30 days at a lesser rate, doctor supervisions, educational classes, a hotline. By significantly reducing sugars in the diet, including ones normally considered helpful, such as those found in fruits and carbohydrate-rich vegetables like peas and carrots, the body is forced to burn fat rather than sugar for energy. It has no choice. I'd eaten like this on my last successful diet and gotten down into the low 130s, my high school weight. In the years since, I've tried to replicate those results, but haven't been able to summon the discipline. Maybe she's right, and this is what I need. The accountability created by plunking over a chunk of cash and standing on a scale every week, with her rooting me on, plus those magic drinks. For $50 a week, or even $100, I'll do it. So, what does it cost? She turns to a page in her binder. I try to read the tiny upside-down type, but her hand covers the bottom half of the page. She reiterates the services, running down the list. Then, finally, she moves her hand and turns the binder so I can see for myself. $3,000 for 30 days. Ah, I say, slumping in the chair, knees splayed. I just finished another weight loss clinic. It's just another weight loss clinic with a few more bells and whistles. No energy shots or pills, no surgical procedures. I might pay $3,000 for some serious drugs, the kind that ratchet up your metabolism so you can't eat. But this? I know it's a lot, she says, but this is the only program of its kind. I'll have to think about it. Back in the gritty parking lot, the flapping sign taunts me. Yes, Dee, it's true. Despite the ads, the guarantees and pronouncements by licensed doctors and experts, the testimonials and tantalizing before and after photos, it comes down to simple math. It would just be so nice, so damn convenient to stumble upon a bona fide shortcut, an easy, quick fix. I won't return to the strip mall clinic. I can't bring myself to shell out $3,000 for 30 milkshakes. I could probably have liposuction for that price and be done with it. Bob even suggested it. We were in the car. I was grousing about my weight again, about how shitty my sister Juliet makes me feel when she bounces in my front door looking like a teenager. One of those ads came on the radio for a clinic where they melt away your fat painlessly and effortlessly. Maybe you should give it a try, he said. Are you serious? Sure, if it bothers you so much. My right-brain husband, always with the logic. It stung that he went there, that he saw nothing hurtful in the suggestion. Is it unrealistic? Is it unfair to expect him to defend how I look when I don't? Pulling out of the parking lot, merging onto Laguna, I can't get the metabolic age 84 out of my head. I've lost weight before. I know how to do it. I decide to try ketosis again on my own. I just need to get serious about it. I drive straight to the drugstore to buy keto sticks, those little plastic strips you swipe through your pee to measure the level of ketones in your urine. If a stick turns the right color, it's proof you've shifted into the magical fat-burning zone. Next stop, the grocery store to stock up on zero-carb proteins and super low-carb veggies. Bring on the lettuce and cucumbers, the broccoli and cauliflower. Yum. Next, I tackle my closet. I gather up all the jeans that don't fit me, which means all the jeans I own. I organize them in descending order by size with the largest pair on top. A lonely pair of size 8s rest at the bottom. I will work my way back into all of them. One size, one pair at a time. I can do this. I will do this. 2017 is my year. I say I'm a die-hard pessimist. The family Eeyore and all that. It's my shtick. Truth is, I'm a closet optimist. Standing in my literal closet, my inner optimist flickers to life. I won't only lose weight. I'll transform every aspect of my life. I'll be super wife, mom, daughter, sister, friend. I'll be more productive, creative, and generous of spirit than I've ever been before. I will eat to live, not live to eat. I will live my life to the fullest, rather than waiting for it to begin. I will experience a total renaissance of mind, body, and spirit. This is another tendency of mine. All in or all out. Of euphoria or depression. The going for broke face feels so good. Like the first 20 mini candy bars. When it sputters out, not so much. But that won't happen. Not this time. I make a neat stack of the jeans and set it on a prominent shelf as a daily visible reminder. Passing the dining room on my way outside for a walk, I pause to study the photograph of me at my son's wedding. I want my grandson to know that me. I want to feel closer to 40 than 60. I want to be mistaken for my younger sister again. My 63rd birthday, January 17, will be my official start date. I won't set crazy, unrealistic goals this time. No 15 pounds a month. I will give myself a full year, birthday to birthday. Phase 1 of my year of transformation. Lower my metabolic age. Regain those 20 years. Then go for 20 more. All that wisdom for a $37 visit to a strip mall diet center. Launching the new year coincides with the class I signed up for with a good friend, Shelley, an English professor I met at a conference for aspiring writers. She lives in Sacramento, and we've been meeting for coffee once a week ever since. Shelley is that rare friend. No matter how down on myself I am, when I walk in the coffee house door, her sincere support turns me around, makes me realize I'm lucky. I say rare, because usually uplifting people drive me nuts. I want to shake the senseless optimism right out of them. The class, under the tutelage of a respected author, was designed to provide support and framework for completing the first draft of a book in 1 year, January to January. It was Shelley's idea to give ourselves this structure. The class will meet 6 times over the next 12 months. The due date for admitting the full manuscript for critique is the day after my next birthday. I signed up for this before my New Year's Day revelations, yet it jives perfectly. The class will be the framework for phase 2 of my year of transformation. Be productive and creative. Take concrete steps to realize those childhood dreams of being a writer. Not unlike losing weight, writing doesn't take magic, but rather diligence and persistence. You just do it and keep doing it. 12 aspiring authors show up for the first book in a year class, all women, ranging in age from 30s, some with young children at home, to a few like me, retired from challenging careers, our offspring grown. We meet in the author's home in Northern California's verdant wine country. My new eating regime is underway, so I bring my own food for the weekend. Hard-boiled eggs, celery sticks, and portion-controlled packets of almonds. We lounge in the nubbly oatmeal-colored chairs and sofas around a large glass-top table. As we introduce ourselves and go over logistics for the year ahead, I am suffused with a warm, supportive glow. Further empowered as the clock advances and I resist the platters of pastries offered by our host. Mid-morning, when the first pangs of hunger strike, I dip into my stash and nibble on a peeled egg. I am doing this. I am strong. Most of the other participants began the class knowing what they planned to write. A young adult novel, historical fiction, literary suspense, a few memoirs. I am a blank slate. I consider fixing the hackneyed murder mystery I wrote in graduate school, or the thinly veiled memoir I wrote at 22. As the morning exercises progress, writing prompts to help us identify the stories and characters we keep coming back to, I scribble in my notebook incidents from my life, moments remembered, the ones that keep me from falling asleep at night and that wake me up with a start long before sunrise. Bad relationships, friends I miss, first and last, grudges, moments that, while in the past, are still causing trouble in my head, with a sense of having been left undone, unresolved. Moments I can't shake that make me flush with shame and that send me to the refrigerator. I've already determined 2017 will be the year I crack the code for living my life in the now, for making peace with the past and embracing the present. There are pounds I hope to shed. No, the pounds I will shed. My metabolic age to fix, my gray roots to grow out and embrace. Whether I have 1 year left or 21, or even if I live past 100, as my mother seems likely to do, I hope to keep growing and learning. I want peace, happiness, love. I want to feel alive. That's what I should write about. I will chronicle my year of self-discovery. A year to get my shit together. A year to write about it. I have no clue where the coming months will take me, where the journey will end. But I'm determined to give it my best shot and to tell the truth, regardless of outcome. The price tag for the book in a year course is about what I would have shelled out for the 30-day weight loss miracle. This feels serendipitous, a twofer for my investment. A new me and a completed book. Truth is, I have more confidence I will finish a book than I do about being successful with the rest of it. I've written all my life. I can produce words, lots of them, mostly dribble, but still, getting words onto the page isn't usually my problem. Our instructor suggests we just write. Get it all out there. A complete first draft without second guessing or stopping to edit. I like the sound of that. I'll spill all the uneasy memories, like upchucking a bad meal. Down the road, I can arrange and rearrange them, search for patterns, stitch them back together in a way that makes something whole and worthwhile out of it all. I will write my way back into my life. One word, one page, one memory at a time.